So as a white male who employs a 100% white team, it has taken me quite some time to listen and learn to understand my place in the Black Lives Matter conversation. In fact, it took me a bit of time to work out if it was even appropriate for me to do so. Over the last few weeks, protests have marched across the globe. The team at Utopia have spent plenty of time thinking about our place in this conversation and what we can try and do to help. Before I go on, I need to give a massive thank you and a shout out to Sean. He's Utopia's customer care guru, but more than that, he has been great at guiding us through the questions. And given that this is a subject that he's really passionate about, he's also been able to signpost us to experts in this incredibly challenging matter. He's even been on hand in all hours of the night to help me through some of the challenges that I've had in adequately understanding this situation. So thank you very much, Sean. So let's get this straight right from the start. To be crystal clear, Utopia believes it is not enough just not to be a racist, we must be anti-racist. At Utopia, we have prided ourselves in being a leader in technology, but we think this is now the time when we must also become a leader in tackling racism. This will entail reviewing all aspects of our business that could be changed or improved to prevent discrimination, as well as working with our supply chain to encourage them to do the same. Many of you will come across the term Kaizen. It's a Japanese term for change for better or continuous improvement. I use it often when describing how Utopia will improve its operations or improve our team's skills. Our commitment to this is a continuation of everything that's got Utopia to this point, and we want to make it clear to our team, our clients and our suppliers we want them all to feel safe no matter how they look, sound or feel. With today's video, I want to share 3 key learnings that I've discovered over these weeks, as well as sharing why, as I said in the intro, I now recognise that everyone has a positive voice and a supportive voice needs to be vocal on the Black Lives Matter subject. Being quiet and thinking, well, I'm not a racist, unfortunately it's just not good enough. In fact, it never has been good enough, and I'm a little ashamed that it's taken me 39 years to get to this point and work that one out. So you see, when I first started thinking about making this video, I hesitated. I thought, well, you know what, I don't really understand what's going on. I definitely don't know much about black history. I'm not black, and I definitely don't want to offend somebody by talking about something that's not for me to discuss. And you see, it was that last point that I was so wrong about. The others were kind of true, but the fact is we all need to be involved in creating this new norm. One where a world where the word racism is just seen in the history books, where children ask if that really did happen, because the idea of disadvantaging someone because of the pigment in their skin would be so vile and so wrong, which of course it is. So to make this journey, we all need to have an open conversation and we need to be honest with each other. You see, I like to chat to friends and make videos on this channel about things that I see myself as an expert in. So you'll often see me talking about technology. I've got a degree in technology, I've got 20 years experience. I think of myself as an expert, so I'm happy to share my thoughts. But then there are other things that I like talking about and I think I can contribute to, things like productivity, the environment, wine, running, fitness. I love having conversations about these things, but I'm far from an expert on most of them. So why was it that I thought that racism was a topic for others to talk about and not me? For me, after some soul searching, I think it was mostly came from a place of fear. I didn't want to offend further. I had questions like, can I even use the word black to describe someone? Do I fully understand what racism means? Due to it not directly affecting me and the fear I had around this topic, it was just something I avoided, and I'm not proud of that. But after some soul searching, as I say, it's the truth. So I hope this video can start some conversations about race with my friends, my family, and you, the viewers. And perhaps you had the same feelings as me, and we can all start to contribute in a positive way. So this topic is huge, and it's going to be impossible to cover everything I've learned in one video. But there are 3 things that struck to me as being powerful and easy takeaways that I think everyone should try and understand. So without further ado, what are the 3 things I wanted to share with you today? They are white privilege, tone policing, and subliminal racism. So first up, white privilege. There are all sorts of things people think this means, but in truth, it's a phrase that's been used, and in the back of my mind, I thought I kind of understood it, but I did not. In short, it means that people with white skin may have had problems in life. In fact, they may have had some of the hardest challenges to overcome. but their colour of their skin never made those challenges any harder. It's that simple. A great example is when someone says, but that's an American problem. Due to their white privilege, they don't see the problems here in the UK. Next up is tone policing. Reading debates that have been happening over the likes of Facebook and Instagram, I've seen many examples of this. A couple of weeks ago, I didn't even know what tone policing was. For this one, I need to give you an example. When I was at school, I was bullied. Not too much, I got it easier than some, but to this day when I think about the things that happened, if you were to ask me to describe them back to you, I can literally feel the tension in my shoulders. I can feel a little bit of stress coming back, and in some case recalling the facts of some of those things that happened, I might even get a little bit angry. If you were to ask me to take that emotion out of my recollection of those memories, you would be tone policing. During this time, those that have suffered racism are being asked to recall horrible memories, but not to react to comments and conversations with emotion. This is virtually impossible for any human to do so. So next time you see someone commenting about how important the Black Lives Movement is to them, perhaps in a tone that you don't necessarily like, take a moment to consider the years of racism that is built up to that very moment. And then finally, subliminal racism. I had no idea that our monuments and streets were named after those who'd profited from the slave trade. Well, in truth, that's not entirely true. I remember listening to a radio show a couple of years ago on Radio 2 where the statue of Edward Colston was being discussed. Those in the show made a very compelling case for why that statue should be placed in a museum. I figured it would and didn't think any more of it until I saw the monument on the news a fortnight ago. At that point, even I was frustrated that after years of conversations and debates, we had let this anger and frustration build in our communities and nothing had been done. In 2020, we have to have an open and honest discussion with ourselves on how we celebrate our past, and I'm pleased to say that councils like Glasgow City Council down the road are re-looking at their streets and monument names and why they're there. So I hope with a huge amount of compassion that I'll be continuing to work with my team in the weeks and months ahead to ensure the eradication of all forms of discrimination at Utopia and with our suppliers. I want you to come on the journey with us too, and I thank you in advance for that support. If you want to learn any more, I've stuck some links to things that I've found in the description. There's some good UK-based resources and a few other things there. I really thank you for watching this video. I know it's a little bit different, so I appreciate everything. Let's do this together. Thank you.